Give this video just 5 minutes. If you're not hooked, you're free to leave. But trust me, this story is wild. Our boy's life flips upside down when a parasite takes over his body. In a world where parasites are mercilessly hunted, survival becomes a brutal game. Can he make it out alive? Let's dive into the story. The story began long ago when a group started exploiting divine relics, forcing miners to extract resources. Guardians, hooded figures protecting the relics, retaliated by unleashing ancient beasts to expel the intruders. However, these beasts couldn't adapt to the human world and gradually transformed into spirits, residing within chosen humans. A figure walked down a road, his reflection in the water revealing a monstrous form. The scene shifted to Crimson Emperor City on a rainy day, where citizens went about their business. A large screen broadcasted reports of assaults by heteromorph entities, warning residents to stay safe. The perspective shifted to a crowded subway station. People were exhausted and depressed, but the main character, Qin Shi, a graduate with no special talents and a poor academic record, immersed himself in music. He had come to the city to make a living after being kicked out by his family, hoping to enjoy life for a few years. A soldier rested on the train, gripping a rod, unaware of a mutated life form lurking behind him. The monster growled, and panic erupted as passengers noticed the creature. People shoved each other in desperation, pushing Qin Shi, who grew frustrated, questioning their recklessness. The situation escalated when the soldier's bloodied body collapsed and the monster repeated its chilling mantra, "Demolish everyone." Passengers screamed, recognizing the creature as a heteromorph, an ancient beast-turned spirit that inhabited human bodies, corrupting them with evil. The monster started killing indiscriminately, tearing through the train. Qin Shi, instead of thinking about his survival, remarked that the real thing felt different from videos he had seen. The train neared the next station, but before it stopped, a man crashed through the window, tumbling onto the platform. The doors opened, and chaos spilled onto the station. People scrambled out, some injured. A girl clutching her bleeding ear, pleading for help. Blood-stained belongings littered the ground as the passengers fled. Inside the train, the heteromorph cornered Qin Shi, clutching a man in its grip while muttering about demolition and land expansion. Qin Shi, realizing the monster's obsession, lamented his rotten luck. He spotted an open door and a chance to escape, but a grandmother and her granddaughter stood frozen in fear. The little girl cried out, terrified, while her grandmother reassured her. Qin Shi chose to help them, telling the old lady he would distract the monster so they could escape. The grandmother hesitated, but he insisted, boasting about his time on the university track team, even though he never won any medals. As the grandmother and the child fled, unseen eyes observed the scene, and a shadow whispered that they had finally found the boy from the past. Qin Shi threw his bag at the heteromorph, dashing past it to divert its attention. He taunted the creature, but it caught him, slamming him around like a rag doll. Blood dripped from Qin Shi's mouth as he lay battered and broken on the ground, his consciousness fading. Soldiers outside heard the grandmother's cries for help, but they were ordered not to act rashly, waiting for the security bureau to handle the situation. Inside the train, a golden black liquid formed, weaving through the bodies of the victims. Qin Shi, on the brink of death, reflected on his life, the scolding, the bullying, and the heartbreak. He longed to win just once. As the heteromorph prepared to strike a fatal blow, he screamed his desire to survive. The swirling black gold liquid took the form of a majestic beast and surged into him, crackling with golden electricity. In his consciousness, Qin Shi met the black golden beast, who greeted him like an old friend. Qin Shi questioned whether it was a hallucination, but the beast enveloped his body as the heteromorph's attack landed. Now transformed, Qin Shi countered with a powerful punch, shattering the monster's hand. The beast's voice echoed within him, proclaiming, "What I give you is hope." After delivering a powerful punch, the heteromorph's right hand shattered and vanished completely. Golden claws on his body grew larger, his form turning crimson. The beast within our MC him declared that these claws could sever the bond between humans and their host spirits. Without hesitation, the beast inside Golden Claw lunged at the heteromorph, its claw attack cutting through everything in its path with lethal precision. The attack obliterated the heteromorph, and the beast calmly stated that the man was now free. The man who had been bound to the heteromorph spilled onto a train seat, unconscious, with tears streaming down his face and foam gathering in his mouth. The ancient spirit that had possessed the man attempted to escape, but the beast sneered and asked where it thought it was running. Terrified, the ancient spirit fled, but the beast tightened its grip on the ground and propelled itself toward the spirit. growling that it couldn't possibly hold back from such a premium meal. The ancient spirit, drenched in sweat, had no chance to escape. The beast devoured it in one bite, grimacing and commenting on the terrible taste. Just then, members of the security division stormed into the train cabin, announcing that the target was up ahead. The beast, now in full control of our main character body, turned back indifferently and muttered that the security division was a pain. But at that moment, the beast lost its grip over our main character body. Mick regained consciousness, partially human, partially beast. He stared at his hands and then at his reflection in a shattered mirror, panic rising in his voice as he questioned what had happened to him, why he had horns, and what he had done. The security division members exchanged confused glances, wondering if this was some kind of bizarre cosplay. Golden Claw spotted the man who had been freed from the spirit and recalled how he had killed and devoured the ancient entity, severing the connection. Horror filled his voice as he questioned if he had truly done all of it. The beast inside him casually confirmed, mocking our main character for only now figuring it out. When Golden Claw accused the beast of killing the man, the beast scoffed, clarifying that the man was just unconscious. Before our main character could process everything, the security division opened fire. The beast swiftly took over, dodging the bullets with ease. Mac demanded to know the beast's identity, but the beast simply stated they could talk after escaping. The relentless barrage of bullets continued, and a tranquilizer dart hit our main character's backside on his peaches. The beast chuckled, commenting that their connection wasn't perfect yet. Despite the tranquilizer, our main character remained unfazed. One of the security division members pulled out a more dangerous weapon, a shockwave cannon. As they prepared to fire, the beast fully overtook our main character's body, grinned, and got ready to fight. The cannon discharged a massive projectile, resembling a miniature bomb, but the beast effortlessly deflected it, mockingly bidding the security team goodbye as the blast shook the train. Our main character escaped, leaping from building to building until he disappeared. Later, the scene shifted back to the train, now heavily damaged with smoke rising from its wreckage. Barricades blocked entry to the site, and security division members stood at attention as their squad captain arrived. Men in the security division greeted the captain with a sharp, "Good morning," and the captain immediately demanded a status report. Her voice cut through the lingering tension as she asked if they had caught the heteromorph. The squad captain entered the train with her dog, her sharp gaze sweeping over the scene. She immediately demanded an update, asking if they had caught the heteromorph. One of the men in the security division, catching his breath, reported that the target was highly agile. Before he could finish, the captain cut him off, her voice laced with disappointment. She reminded him that she had given them a chance to prove themselves, and they had failed miserably. The men in the security division fell silent, their shame palpable. The captain's dog sniffed the unconscious man on the floor, pausing near a shattered wall, the escape route of their main target. Without missing a beat, the captain turned to the dog, stressing that time was running out and they needed results fast. To everyone's surprise, the dog spoke, complaining about how exhausting it was for her to bend over to talk. The dog transformed into a human, his form shifting seamlessly. One of the security men gasped, struggling to process what he had just witnessed. The captain, unfazed, remarked that staying in animal form was more useful. The transformed man shrugged, explaining that communicating was easier and more respectful in human form. They examined the escape site carefully. The man with the collar, now identified as a grand mystic, analyzed the claw marks and impact force, confirming the target's identity. The captain demanded to know the distance, and the mystic deduced that a parasitic spirit inhabiting a human body wouldn't have gotten far. The captain, unimpressed with the Bureau's incompetence, told the mystic he was the only one she could rely on. The mystic declined her praise, emphasizing that he wasn't all-powerful and that every mystic had unique talents, making it easier to join organizations. He sat on a train seat, closing his eyes despite the captain's protests. She urged him to act, but he snapped at her to be quiet, explaining he was sensing the target's aura, and that tracking came with an extra fee. The captain, exasperated but desperate, promised he'd be paid accordingly. The mystic focused, mist gathering around him as he delved into the beast's presence. Meanwhile, the main character sprinted across rooftops, the beast inside him stirring and beginning to transform. The mystic, locked in concentration, suddenly jolted in shock as the beast's image exploded into his consciousness. The creature's grotesque face twisted into comically bizarre expressions. Like my dog looked as his favorite food. but the humor quickly faded as the beast appeared to grab the mystic in its jaws, blood splattering as it taunted him for his creepy tracking technique. Back in reality, sweat dripped from the mystic's face. One of the security men noticed and called the captain over. She turned to see the mystic foaming at the mouth, his body convulsing. Panicking, the captain ordered someone to call the medical team, and a security officer sprinted away to get help. The captain grabbed the mystic by the shirt, shaking him and pleading for the exact location. Barely conscious, the mystic whispered, "9th District," before losing consciousness completely. Frustrated but determined, the captain quickly summoned a flying squirrel. A man enveloped in crackling blue lightning and swirling mist appeared out of nowhere, bowing and awaiting her command. The captain ordered him to chase the beast, and without hesitation, the flying squirrel vanished in a flash. She muttered to herself that when it came to speed, no one could match the flying squirrel. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more awesome content. Please support this new content creator, and please leave comments that will motivate me to do more.